Welcome back to Success with Steven. My name is Steven Smith. On this channel, we discuss all things financial literacy. In today's video, we're going to talk about how you can potentially make $5,000 per month selling print-on-demand wall art. Now, I already know what some of you are thinking. Steven, $5,000 per month selling wall art sounds crazy. That sounds like one of those business ideas that looks good on a YouTube title, but once you actually try it, you realize it's harder than it sounds. And trust me, I completely get it. Because anytime someone talks about making thousands of dollars online, most people immediately assume that there has to be some kind of complicated strategy behind it. But that's not the case at all. With print on demand, you're not buying 1,000 canvases. Instead, you create the design, you upload it to a product, you connect it to your online store, and when someone places an order, your print-on-demand provider will handle the printing, the packaging, and the shipping. And for this video, the print-on-demand provider I would personally focus on is Printful. Now, Printful is one of the most popular print-on-demand companies because it allows you to sell products like canvas prints, frame posters, regular posters, metal prints, and other home decor items without having to hold inventory yourself. They integrate with platforms like Shopify, Etsy, and other e-commerce platforms, which makes it much easier to build a real online business around custom products. I'm going to break down why wall art is a strong opportunity right now. We'll also discuss how to choose the right niche, how to create simple designs that people actually want to buy, and how to use Printful as your print-on-demand partner, how to price these products for profit, and how to get traffic to your store using social media. And by the end of this video, you should have a clear roadmap for how this business model actually works. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Let's start with why wall art is such a powerful product to sell in the first place. Now, as of early 2026, the home decor industry is continuing to grow at a serious pace, and wall art fits directly into that trend. People are constantly looking for ways to make their home feel more personal, more stylish, and more unique. And this is not some small niche market. According to Yahoo Finance, the global home decor market is on pace to surpass $945 billion by 2029. That means people are spending massive amounts of money on products that help them improve the look and feel of their living spaces. Wall art is one of the easiest ways for customers to transform a room without doing a full renovation, buying new furniture, or spending thousands of dollars. They can take a blank wall, add the right canvas, the right poster, or frame print of a custom design, and instantly change the entire aesthetic of that room. People are constantly decorating apartments, houses, offices, bedrooms, nurseries, garages, man caves, beauty rooms, gaming rooms, and home gyms. Every single room is an opportunity for someone to buy something that makes that space feel more personal. And that's important because wall art is not just some random product. It's emotional. People don't buy personalized wall art just because they need to cover a blank wall. They buy it because it represents something. It could represent their family, it could represent their marriage, it could represent a pet, their faith, a hometown, or even a hobby that they love. That's what makes wall art different from just a plain product. And that brings me to the second reason that wall art is so powerful. It has a high perceived value. If someone sees a small sticker online, they're not going to spend $70 for it. If someone sees like a basic phone case, they probably compare it to every other phone case on Amazon. But when someone sees a personalized canvas print, a frame poster, or a premium piece of custom wall art, that perceived value is completely different. A customer might look at that product and think, this would be perfect for my living room, or that would be an amazing anniversary gift, or this would make a great gift for my wife's vanity room. It would make it look complete. And once that emotional connection happens, the product is no longer just ink on a canvas. It becomes their sign, their memory, their story. And that is where the money is actually made. Let's take a look at this Etsy store example. As you can see, they're selling a 12 by 18 inch canvas art for $129.35 plus shipping. Now let's say in total this sells for around $145 on average. Depending on the size, the product type, and the provider, your production costs might be somewhere around $40 to $60 before shipping and other expenses. With Printful, the exact cost will depend on the size of the product that you choose, the fulfillment location, and the shipping method. But the basic idea is simple. You want to sell a product where the customer sees strong value, but your fulfillment cost still leaves enough room for profit. So if this canvas sells for around $145 and it costs, let's say, $60 on average to produce this product, you might be looking at a profit margin of somewhere around $85. Now, obviously, every business will have a cost. You have platform fees, you have payment processing fees, and you also may have ad spend. So I do not want you thinking that every single dollar between the product cost and the selling price is automatically pure profit. But even after expenses, wall art can still give you the room to make good money because the selling price is higher than many other print-on-demand products. So if you were making $30 in pure profit per sale, you would need around 167 sales per month to make $5,000 in profit. That comes out to a little over 5 sales per day. If you were making $40 in profit per sale, you would need 125 sales per month. That's a little over 4 sales per day. And if you were making, let's say, $50 in profit per sale, you would need 100 sales per month, and that's a little over 3 sales per day. And see, that's the reason why wall art is an interesting business model. You don't need to become Amazon. All you need is the right products, the right niche, the right offer, and consistent traffic. Now, before you create a product, before you build a Shopify store, before you start running ads or you start posting content, you need to choose the right niche. Too many people find a great product idea like wall art and they get excited and then they create random designs for everyone. And the problem is they don't have a real audience. When you're building a print-on-demand store, you want to know exactly who you're trying to reach. Wall art works best when it's paired with emotion, identity, or pride. For example, family name signs can work very well because people are proud of their family. They want something like the example right here, the Kennedys established in 2007, or something personalized around their last name, or even like a wedding date. Pet memorial wall art can work because people love their pets like family, or a custom canvas with vows or a meaningful location can be a powerful gift. Man cave wall art can work because people love decorating spaces that represent their hobbies. And that could include sports, cars, motorcycles, fishing, hunting, gaming, music, or fitness. Nursery wall art can work because new parents love buying personalized items for their baby's room. Faith-based wall art can work because people often want scriptures or inspirational quotes or spiritual reminders in their home. Military, hometown, firefighters, police officers, teachers, nurses, or passion-based niches can also work because those identities are personal. People are proud of them. They display them. They buy gifts around them. And that's what you're looking for. You want a niche where people feel something, because when people feel something, they're more likely to buy. And that's why the niche that I would recommend is a custom design niche. Now, the thing that I like about custom designs are that you can have multiple niches within that same framework. So the next step that I would recommend is to doing some research, and one of the easiest places to research wall art ideas would be Etsy. Now, I'm not saying you have to sell on Etsy at all. Personally, if you want to build a real brand and control your customer experience, my recommendation is to use things like Shopify. But Etsy is still one of the best places to see what people are already buying. You can go to Etsy and search terms like personalized wall art, custom family sign, pet memorial canvases, wedding canvas print, man cave sign, nursery name print, or custom garage wall art. When you do that, pay attention to the designs that show up repeatedly. Look at the pricing, look at the mock-ups, look at the phrases, look at the personalization options, look at the product photos, look at the reviews, look at what customers are saying that they love. But let me be very clear, you're not copying, you're just researching. There's a big difference between copying someone else's exact design. That's lazy, it's risky, and it's not how you build a real business. Researching means you're trying to understand what the market already wants. That way you'll create your own version, your own style, your own branding, and your own angle, and then of course your own offer. For example, if you're noticing that farmhouse family signs are selling well, don't just copy another seller's exact layout. Instead, you might create your own farmhouse-inspired design using different fonts, different spacing, different decorative elements, and different personalization styles. With wall art, simple usually wins because people are not always looking for something loud and complicated. They're looking for something that fits in their space and feels personal, and your design should be clean enough that someone can imagine that in their own home. You want the text to be readable, you want the layout to feel balanced, and you want the colors to match the type of room where the product might be displayed. You want the design to feel premium and not cluttered. And once again, there are plenty of niches to choose from, but to me, personalization, customization, that is the secret weapon. When you allow someone to add like a name, a date, a pet photo, a baby name, a family name, or like a custom message, that product instantly becomes more valuable, because a regular sign that says welcome home, that's completely fine. But a sign that says the Smith family established 2021, that, even for me, that feels very personal. That's what turns a basic design into something that people will actually want to pay a lot of money for. Now let's talk about Printful, because if you're going to build this business, you need to have a print-on-demand company that can actually fulfill your product. Printful is a strong option because they offer multiple wall art products, including canvas prints, posters, frame posters, and other home decor styles. This gives you the flexibility when you're building your store. You can start with one core product like personalized canvases and then later expand into frame posters or different sizes. That way you're not trying to launch with 50 different products all at one time. Printful also connects directly with Shopify, which makes the process much smoother. Once you connect Printful to your store, you can create products inside of Printful, you can push them to Shopify, and when an order actually comes in, Printful receives the order, prints the item, and they ship that item to the customer. That means you don't have to manually send every order to a printer. Another reason Printful is a good choice is that they have a reputation for quality. And with wall art, quality really does matter. If someone is putting a product in their home or giving it as a gift, the print quality, the packing, the delivery experience, it needs to all feel professional. A cheap looking product can lead to refunds, bad reviews, and unhappy customers. So when you're choosing a print on demand provider, do not only look at the cheapest base cost. Cheap is not always better. You want a provider that gives you a good balance between product quality, fulfillment reliability, shipping options, integrations, and of course, customer experience. That's why Printful can be a great starting point for this business model. And here's how the process would work in a simple way. First, you choose your niche. Now let's say that you decide to create personalized family name canvas prints. Second, you create your design template. I like to use AI tools like Canva AI, ChatGPT, Claude Design, or you can use an entirely different design platform. The design might include a family name, a date, and a clean layout. Third, you create the product inside of Printful. You choose the wall art, you select the size options, you upload your design, and you make sure everything is positioned correctly. Fourth, you connect Printful to your store. Once connected, you push the product from Printful into your store, let's say Shopify, where you can edit the title, description, pricing, images, and personalization instructions. Fifth, you set up the personalization process. Depending on your store setup, you may use product personalization apps, maybe custom order fields, or a workflow where customers enter their name and dates before checkout. Sixth, then the order is sent to Printful to be fulfilled. Now, depending on how automated you want your store to be, you can keep the early version simple and manually personalize each design. This is completely normal in the beginning because you may only be getting a few orders per day. Later, as orders increase, you can build better systems, hire a designer, create templates, or use apps that make personalization much easier. But in the beginning, don't let this technical part stop you. If you're interested in starting with Printful today, there will be a link down in the description below. Currently, we are on Printful.com and I'm signed into my account. I just want to show you a few of the options that are available on the website. So you want to start by going over to Product Catalog. And then if we scroll down, the option that I would select is Home and Living. And then we see all of these options that are actually available. So just know we're talking about wall art, but there are so many other options. But under wall art, we have posters, frame posters, canvas prints, metal prints. Metal prints will have this really nice glossy finish. I think this looks very premium and high quality. There are even like things like vanity plates, and there's also metal license plate frames, just some other things you might want to consider. There's also things like frame posters that you can choose from with like black frames. There's also some wood ones, white, just many options that look very high quality and very premium. But let's go over to canvas prints, right? Because I want to take a look at this right now. And this is the one that Printful would suggest. And then as you can see, a lot of these are very high quality. There are also different options that have a gloss and things like that. But if you're looking for some very simple home decor and you want it to have that like canvas painting feel, then this one is really nice. It's beautiful. And there are also many sizes here that you can choose from, as well as like 6x6, 8x8, 8x10, all the way down to 40x60, which is a very, very large frame. And if you wanted to, you can click on Start Designing. This is where you would upload or drop your design. And then I added a very simple design here, just something that I had as an option. And there's different mock-up styles that you could choose from, like someone holding the image for you, or maybe you want to have a mock-up of it inside of like a bedroom or something like that to actually show the wall art. And again, I just kind of threw something really quick on there. You would, of course, want to make sure that you create your design. I have plenty of videos that show you how to do this using AI tools. Now, of course, this is not for custom art. This is just a random design that I just chose. And as you can see, all the sizes here that were available, they are all there to print on. So you would want to make sure that your design could actually fit all of these different canvases, okay? Because this one, when I made it, I just kind of slapped it on there as an example, but it may not actually cover some of the larger ones. So make sure that you check that. Now let's talk about pricing and traffic. One of the biggest mistakes that beginners make is pricing too low because they're afraid that nobody will buy. But when the price is too low, you create two problems. First of all, you destroy your profit margin. Second, you make your product feel cheap. With personalized wall art, you should not be racing to the bottom. You're not trying to be the cheapest seller on the internet. You're trying to create a product that feels personal, emotional, and of course, high quality. If your product cost is $45 and you sell the product for $65, there's almost no room left after your fees, marketing, and any other expenses. But if your product cost is $25 and you sell this for $69.95, now you have room to actually build a business. You'll also want to offer each different size at, of course, a different price point. For example, a smaller print could be your entry point. A medium canvas could be your main offer, and a large canvas could be your premium option. This gives customers choices, and it can increase your average order value. You can also use bundles, upsells, and limited time discounts to increase your sales. For example, you might offer 10% off for your first time buyers, or you might offer a discount when someone buys multiple prints. But the key is this: do not price based only on cost. You want to price based on value. So now that you have the niche, the product, the design, the Printful setup, the mock-ups, and the pricing, the next question is very simple. How do you actually get people to your store? Because you could have the best wall art in the world, but if no one sees it, then no one's going to buy it. The first traffic method is Facebook and Instagram ads. Now, personalized wall art can work well with paid ads because it's visual and it's emotional. You can show people the product, show different examples, and target people based on interest. For example, if you're selling wall art around, like, let's say Father's Day, maybe you can make some sort of wall art that's directed towards people's parents, their father, or maybe give them customized options to actually put a picture of themselves and their dad. The key with paid ads is always testing. You're not going to know the winning design, the audience, and the ad creative on day one. You have to test different images, videos, angles, like when I talked about holidays, offers, and if that doesn't work, the second traffic method I would recommend is organic content. This is where you create content around the niche that you're targeting. So if your niche is dog owners, then your page should not just post product photos all day. You can post funny dog memes, emotional dog videos, pet owner quotes, customer photos, behind the scenes content, and some examples of your product. If your niche is man caves, then you can post a setup of a garage or a sports room inspiration, maybe funny man cave quotes or product mock-ups, and short videos showing how the wall art looks different in every single room. The goal is to create a page that people in your niche actually want to follow. Then once you have their attention, you can naturally show your products. The third traffic method is influencer marketing. Now, this can be powerful because influencers already have an audience that you're trying to reach. You can send a sample to content creators in your niche and have them show it to their audience. Again, if you sell, like, let's say pet prints, then you might want to work with the pet page. The best influencer promotions usually feel very natural and not forced. The creator shows the product, talks about why they like it, gives their audience, let's say, a discount code, and then they send people to your store. And you do not have to start with giant influencers whatsoever. Sometimes smaller creators with loyal audiences can perform better than big creators with random followers. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. The reason I like wall art is because it checks so many boxes. It has emotional value, it has high perceived value, and it's easy for you to personalize. It also works well with visual marketing. It can be fulfilled through print on demand, and with a company like Printful, you can start without holding inventory or shipping products yourself. Now, is this automatic money? Absolutely not. You still have to do the work, you still have to research, you still have to create designs, test products, market, and you still have to deal with customers. But compared to many other online businesses, this is a model that's simple enough for a beginner to understand and powerful enough to turn it into a real income stream if you execute consistently. So if you're looking for a print-on-demand product that has strong profit potential, personalized wall art is definitely worth looking into. And if you're going to do it, I would focus on emotional niches, clean designs, premium mockups, strong pricing, and Printful as your print-on-demand provider to help you handle production and fulfillment. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you found value in this video, then please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to continue making content that breaks down different online businesses, print-on-demand strategies, and ways for you to build income online. And as always, if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below. And as always, you guys have a wonderful day.